Welcome to My Zone Online School. My name is Teacher Mutsa. Get your education booklet in our daily newspaper, street sales, or at your school every Monday to Thursday for pre-primary up until grade 3. The lessons are for listening or watching online. Inside the newspapers, there is an insert of the lesson booklet. Please cut the top of the lesson booklet with a pair of scissors and fold it for ready to use. But there is more. We are also available on our online platforms, MyZone and Zoshi Facebook pages, and in addition, our website, Zoshi Online. Hello grade 3s and welcome to My Zone Online School. My name is Teacher Mutsa and thank you so much for joining me today. Our theme this week is infectious diseases. And before we get into any lessons, boys and girls, we need to sanitize. So let's take our sanitizer and make sure that we are using it correctly. Remember, when we sanitize, we are trying to make sure that both of our hands are safe. Let's try and sanitize as regularly as we can. For today's lesson, we will be talking about problem solving, number bonds, and simple present tense. For our lesson now, boys and girls, let's turn to page 12. On page 12, we are going to start with problem-solving sums. Now, these are problems that come in the form of a sentence or a little story, and it is our job to solve that problem. So, we are going to do number 6 together. Let's take a look at number 6. Number 6 says, Dan throws a party. He invites 26 boys and 19 girls. How many children are at his party? Let's read it again. Dan throws a party. He invites 26 boys and 19 girls. So how many children are at his party? Now remember, boys and girls, when we are doing problem-solving sums, we first read the story twice and then we take a look at the numbers we need. In this case, we are going to take 26 and 19. Then we need to decide whether we are adding or subtracting according to the question. And the question says, how many children are at his party? So that means we are adding. Let's now take a look at the board. On the board, I have written our addition, which is 26 boys plus 19 girls, because we want to find out how many children they are all together. So we start with our units and we say 26 plus 19. We start with our units saying 6 plus 9. So 6 plus 9, if we use either our fingers or our counters, will give us 15. But there's no space to write 15, only space for one digit. So we go to our tens and we say, Mr. Tens, we have too much to carry in our unit bag. Please can we give you 1 unit for you to carry for us? And Mr. Tens will say, okay, so we're going to say plus 1 next to our 2 here. And then we're going to write our 5 for the 15. So for our 15, our 1 is with our tens, and then we write 5. Now we can move on. Now we say 2 plus 1. And we know that 2 plus 1 equals 3. But remember, we have that extra unit we got because our bag previously was too heavy. So we say 3 plus the 1 we have is 4. So we are going to write our 4. Now we know that we have 45 children, which completes our sum, which now says 26 boys plus 19 girls equals 45 children. Then you can write your sentence by saying, there are 45 children at the party. Now, I want you to please read your problem sums carefully, boys and girls. Read it twice before you try to answer, and then decide whether you're adding, subtracting, or sharing. So, when you do that, I'm sure your answer will be correct. Don't forget to write your answer as a sentence, because all problem-solving sums need a number and a sentence. Now that we're done with that one, I want you to please join me for the next activity on page 13. On page 13, the first one is asking us to match the viruses by color and the pairs. So what we are going to do is add 4 more to each number. So they have given us an example which we want to try and find the answer to by ourselves. So let's take a look at the board. Now on the board, I've also drawn the viruses, and we are going to start with the number 10. We want to see what answer we will get if we add 4 more. We are going to be using counters like the ones I have. Remember, a counter can be a bottle top or a color or anything that you can use to add or subtract. Just make sure that it is safe to use. So here with my bottle tops, I have 3 blue ones and 1 red one. The red counter will be our answer counter since we are going to add 4 more. So our number is 10, which means we're going to add 4 to 10. So 10 is already there. We say 11, 12, 13, 14. Now that we know that our answer is 14, we need to match with a line to the answer 14. And the number 14 is right here. So it is correct. So I'm going to draw a nice line all the way from 10 going to 14. And that is our answer. The next one we want to look for is for 7. So we know that 7 is already there, and we have our 4 counters and we're counting on 8, 9, 10, 11. So now with the viruses, we want to find the number 11. And the number 11 is right there. So we're going to draw a line from the virus number 7 to number 11. Now you're going to continue by yourselves, and remember it is counting 4 more, which means we are adding. Now let's take a look at number 2 for the same exercise. Let's take a look. For number 2 now, instead of adding, we are going to be taking away, subtracting the viruses. Now, as before, they have already given us an answer, but we want to try and work that out for ourselves. So let's take a look at the board. It says number 11. So we have our 11 here, and now we need to take away. And as we are taking away, that means we are counting backwards. We are still working with the number 4, so I'm going to continue with my 4 counters. But instead of going forward, I am counting backwards. So we have 11 is already there, and we're counting backwards. 10, 9, 8, 7. So now we're looking for the virus 7 to match the 11. If I'm looking carefully, the number 7 is here. So I'm going to match my 11 to 7. Let's do the next one. The next one is 59. Now we're counting backwards 4. So we say 59 is already there and we're counting backwards 58, 57, 56, 55. So we now need to look for 55 to match it. And 55 is all the way down here at the end. So I'm going to take my color and match 55 to 59. There we go. And the rest of them you're going to do by yourselves. Remember, number 1 is asking you to add 4 more, which means you're counting forward. And then part number 2, you are going to subtract, counting backwards 4 times. Take your time with both of them. And if you're not sure or you don't get an answer that is here in your booklet, that's okay. Try again. And if you do not have counters, that's okay too. You can use your fingers. So take your time with both exercises, read carefully on page 12 and count carefully on page 13. I'll see you soon after the advert break.
Follow us on MyZone Facebook Active Kids to watch your daily lesson and other fun activities with Zoe and Zoshi.
Now for our last activity, boys and girls, let's all turn to page 14. On page 14, we will be doing simple present tense. Now, these are words that are verbs, and remember, a verb is a doing word. But this action is continuous, which means it has not ended and is still happening. Whether it happens every hour, or every day, or every month, the action continues. It is going to be our job to complete the sentences with the simple present tense of the verbs in the word box below. So before we do that, let's read the words in the word box. We have the words go, work, ride, deliver, love, rest, and fish. Now it's our job to change these words into simple present tense. So let's take a look at the board to see how we can do that. Now on the board, I have given you 2 examples and reminding you that this is an ongoing action. So if you go changes to goes. He goes to church every Sunday, which means that he is still going to church. There is no stopping and it's a continuous action. So go changes to goes. And then we have walk, which changes to walks. Andrea walks to school, which means every time Andrea is going to school, she walks. It's a continuous action. She doesn't stop walking. So now that we know how to change it from as just a verb into a simple present tense, let's now try our exercise on the page. Let's take a look. Now, we're going to be using the words in the word box and we're going to change them before we put them into the passage. They say that the first one has already been done for us, so let us continue from there. It says, let's start from the beginning. Mr. Lucas is a postman. He doesn't work in the post office. He always works outside in the streets. So the first one has already been done for us. The word works has been changed. Now the word that we can see in our word box is the word work. So work has been changed to works, which means it's a continuous action. He works outside in the streets. Now let us continue. He dashed letters to all the people in the neighborhood every day. Which word can we use and then change into a simple present tense? Now we've already used the word work, so we cannot use it again. Is it the word go, ride, deliver, love, rest, or fish? If you said that it is the word deliver, well done. Now we need to change that word from deliver to a simple present tense. And since this is an everyday action, our word deliver changes to delivers. Now let's try and put the word delivers as we read the sentence. He delivers letters to all the people in the neighborhood every day. Well done, everyone. So you are going to write the new word, which is delivers. All you have to do is add an S. Good job, everyone. Now the rest of this I will let you do by yourselves. Remember to choose a word in the word box and then change it into simple present tense. Read it out loud so that you'll be able to understand it even better. Then, when you are done, please read the full passage to make sure that it makes sense. If you need to change a few places where you think you might have gotten it wrong, that's okay too. Just make sure that you change them to simple present tense. I will see you when you are done after the advert break.
Do you have children in the age range of 5 to 6 years and want to participate in our school booklet program? Please contact us on 081 74 3759 and we will put you on our distribution list for the attention of pre-primary schools. Topics include family, summer, culture, traditions and houses, transport and communications, occupations, autumn and more. We distribute countrywide in over 7 different languages.
We have now come to the end of our lesson, boys and girls, and I really hope you had so much fun. Remember, if you're not sure what to do or you forgot what to do, you can always ask an adult for help, but just make sure that you finish all your work by yourself. So now that we are done, it is very important for us to finish by sanitizing. So please take your sanitizer. Remember, when we are sanitizing, we are trying to maintain our good hygiene. So, sanitize as regularly as possible. Now that we are done, I want to have some fun with Sashi, but I don't know where he is today. Sashi? Sashi? Oh! Hello, Sashi. How are you? So, from Sashi and I, we would like to say thank you for joining us today, grade 3s, and goodbye!
Our online school will help you along the way. Find us at www.zoshi.online and download the booklet. Follow us on Facebook to never miss a video. Subscribe to our Zoshi Telegram channel if you want to receive daily updates. Proudly sponsored by the Ministry of Education, Arts and Culture, Namibian Community Trust, UNICEF, My Zone Online School, Amos Meerkat Syllabus, and Capricorn Foundation.